Hello, this is Tony from the Virtual Fraser Museum, virtually coming to you from the porch of my house. It's been raining all day, which puts us inside a lot, although I do love to go in the rain. But I was making breakfast this morning, and I thought maybe I could share something I learned about one of my favorite breakfasts, popovers. I was thinking there's always something you can learn, there's always some history surrounding things, so I'm just going to share a couple things that I learned in research just this morning about popovers. First is they weren't originally called popovers. It actually comes from something called Yorkshire pudding. It's the same thing for the most part. And that comes from northern England, Yorkshire. And originally, the popover was supposed to be this like pancake mixture underneath the meat that was cooking. And so the oils from the meat would drip down into the pancake so that they could have this savory, meaty kind of pancake. Doesn't sound very good to me, but maybe to some of you. But what is interesting, I think, about that is that they were saving all that they could. The way some people now, of course, we're trying to use everything we can in the pantry and the refrigerator because we can't go out, or we don't go out very often. So it's kind of neat that way. It was actually 1747 was the first time, apparently, long time ago, before America was a country, where it was actually in a recipe book called The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Simple by Hannah Glass. But I think it's really interesting. It's a long time ago. But one other really cool thing, and then I'm actually going to show you how you make popovers, is that apparently in 1999, there was a man who was watching servers at a restaurant, at a pub, take the food by, and he saw these popovers that I guess he'd seen most every day of his life. And he had this idea to have a race, a boat race. And I'm going to put an image up here in just a moment. There's a boat race, or there was a boat race in England of Yorkshire pudding. So they made boats, literally big boats, out of Yorkshire pudding, and they would paddle their way and race down a river. If you don't believe me, you can check the web. It's a real thing. But now I will show you, if you'd like, how to make this very, very simple breakfast. It's one of my favorites. I do hope you enjoy. And thank you very much for tuning in to the Virtual Fraser Museum. We hope to see you again in person soon.
Okay, so popovers. Let's talk about the ingredients of popovers. It's one of the simplest things you can make. All you need is flour, eggs, butter, milk. That's it. They're super easy, and what's really neat is when you put them in the oven and you heat it up, and they pop up, they almost blow up in the pan. So what you're going to need, of course, you have a muffin tin. Let's do a muffin tin. And you'll need something to cook in, like a bowl, like this. And also, this is really important, you'll need ingredients to be, well, the recipe I have says you should use ingredients at room temperature, which means that you have to either leave them out, or if you happen to have a gas oven, what you do, I think, is you turn on the oven to preheat, and there's a little vent for the heat, maybe even with an electric oven, and then you just, you put the stuff near that while you're preparing, and then it'll be closer to room temperature while you do it. So you can just pull it out and do that. So let's do that. I'm going to go get the milk and the eggs. Okay. Next, what you're going to do is you are going to measure the flour. Oh, did I mention salt? Salt. With your measuring cup. You need 1 cup, that's all. 1 cup. Just 1 cup. 1 cup. Put it in the bowl with flour. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon. Let me find the teaspoons. I should have had them already. Teaspoons. So 1/2 teaspoon is. Now I will say this: I use I use a mortar and pestle. I get some interesting salts sometimes. And I have a bag of salt that is from the Himalayas. It's like a pink salt, which is really neat. We can talk about that some other time, perhaps. We'll just mix that together. Some kind of a whisk. That's all. Now that the eggs and the milk are warm, we're going to crack 2 eggs. I'll drop them in. But that didn't go well at all. Sometimes cracking eggs isn't as easy as it looks. Perhaps a little harder when it's warm eggs. And we're going to mix that together. Melted butter. We pour in the melted butter. All right, then pour the liquid into the dry. I'm going to mix it up. Get all that flour mixed in. It's okay if you have a few lumps, little lumps, but you want to get most of it all mixed together. Leftover butter, I added a little bit more, and that's what I use to put in the pans. Make sure and get it up all on the sides there. So I put the batter back into this little measuring cup so that I could pour it. You're going to half fill the tins. It's not half full, is it? It's more than half full. Oh well. And it's going to be liquidy, and that's the whole idea, because apparently it is the liquid that causes steam when you cook this that makes these things rise. Oh, and they're going to rise. And it goes. So they pop up really nice like this, and you can open them up in the back, and I've put a little bit of jelly in there too, which is a really nice addition. And oh my goodness, are they tasty.
Thanks for joining me for cooking, hopefully, some popovers that you'll enjoy. For those of you who have loved ones that you cook for who can't eat wheat and wheat gluten, we'll put a link down below for perhaps gluten-free recipes. And I just want to remind you that history is all around you. And at the Fraser, we would love to hear what you think when you research things that in your everyday life that you think are interesting and the history behind them. So check our website and then maybe send in some content, some ideas and stories of things that you learned about you and about the world around you while you're home. So I hope you enjoyed, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you soon. Goodbye.